Good evening, and thank you for having the German invasion here tonight. Very brave. I had the honor to be here yesterday already to spend the day here at the Clairvoyant Day. Thanks, Liz, for having me. And I'm back. Yay. So the last time I was running back and forth here because somehow I missed the whole microphone. So I'm going to try and stand still and talk into it this time. Right, at the moment, I do a lot of readings, and especially at the moment there is a common denominator in all of it, and this is like the end of the 9-year cycle, lots of it falling away, new doors are not open, people are completely out of balance, everybody is then concentrating on the Mercury retrograde, so it also throws a spanner into the wheel, and everybody's kind of like in the oh my gosh kind of mode. So we all read those wonderful books, you all know about spiritual awakenings and all of that, but there's still the practicality of life because we still have to somehow bind this all together. So I thought I'd do this a bit more on the practical side, plus I'm German, plus I'm Virgo, so I thought I might just as well go down that road. So with everything that's happening at the moment, and with us being forced to look at any and every aspect of our life at the moment, in order to establish what works for us, what doesn't work for us, what areas are still there that we have room for growth in, where are we over-compromising. So we really, a 9 year as we are in at the moment is forcing us to do a real thorough clean-up, spring clean, if we want to or not. And the more we dig our heels in, the more it's going to force us. So we might just as well play along, even if you don't, no way around it. So now, in all of this, what happens is that all doors are closing, you're forced to make decisions, we are not allowed to have grey areas anymore, no more sitting on the fence, all those back burner issues like, yeah, we need to make decisions, but not now, they're all kind of like, whoop, right in our face. And at the same time, underneath all of this is, we need to really look at, are we actually going with our brain or are we going with our gut? Because we had 9 years of finding our comfort zone and finding routines and ticking boxes and like, yay, we got that. And all of a sudden, half of that is not applying anymore. And our gut feel is saying like, it's time for change. That ain't good anymore. And everything we know, at least 90% of it, is all of a sudden cracking, not applying anymore, we're questioning it, not good enough anymore, we want growth, we want expansion, or it's just falling away, we're forced to. And this is the time where the brain is not our biggest friend, and it's really starting to make our life even more difficult. Human nature is there, if we're not really sure who, where, what we are, is we normally use our wonderful brain against ourselves. So it's not the problem of what's going on out there. The first question we ask is, what's wrong with me? Why am I being challenged like that? What did I do wrong? Or even better, I must have been really bad in order to get karma like this now. Because like now karma is a punishment system all of a sudden. It's like, no, it's not. This is really a great opportunity. It becomes doomsday thinking at the moment because it's happening everywhere. It's not just one area. In the moment we have one area like, yes, I've got this relationship stuff sorted, there comes work. All of a sudden there's a new boss and it's even more uncomfortable. At least it was uncomfortable before that, but now it's just not doable anymore. Now I have to sort out work. Now family issues from the past come up. I had such a nice lid on it, but it wasn't really resolved, but there was a lid on it. All those things are brewing. The brain is working now with fear, guilt, things don't upset the apple cart, and the soul is moving the other side. So in all of this, what we normally do is if we don't know where to go and what to do, we stand still. And if we stand still, what does the brain say? Hey, awesome, she's not going there, so we keep her here. And the brain's job is to keep you doing what you've been doing all along. So the soul says, go that side. I'm not giving you the small print because that's your free will part in it. But go. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I am the soul anyway. I'm kind of like the glorified meat suit of my soul. But I'm still arguing with myself. And the brain says, we're not going there because I do not have the reference point. Of course not. My brain is an organ which only knows things from the past, and it can't tick the box in the future. So there's this big fight going on between the soul and the brain, and then meanwhile we just stand still. So what happens when we stand still? We get more of what we have, which we don't like. So catch 22. And then, because we don't know what's happening, again, we're getting punished even more. What's happening in all of this, the one thing we are missing is, we're in the past, that's the brain, and the future, this is where the soul wants to go us, where we are not is here in the now. And this is the only space, place, existence where we have any say in it, and we hand it over and wait till the brain is done arguing with the rest of whatever, and we just say, let us know when you're done. And then meanwhile it all happens, it all accumulates, it gets worse, we start getting sick, we have depression, we have anxiety, we get fired in the meanwhile, the relationship is down the drain, or somebody else makes the decision for you because you don't, I don't, we don't, and then it's all kind of like, I don't know what I've done wrong. Nothing. Yeah, nothing is the problem. You're still standing still. So where this 9 year and the Mercury and all of that, we can blame nicely for it. Of course we can, because that must be it, because it's not me, because I'm standing still. And that's the problem. Standing still and not being in the moment is just as wasted as being in the past with your brain or looking at the future, because then where we are not becomes more important than where we are, here and now. This is the one space we don't use 99% of the time. Even right now, you sit here, you listen to me, you're not in the here and the now. Do you know what the bench feels underneath you? Do you know what the clothes on your body feel like right now? How deep are you breathing? That's the here and the now. You're occupying your brain with listening to me. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but as in like really, truly being in the here and the now. Be in the past and in the future, because that's what the brain wants you to do. The here and now is like a feeling. It's being here. You can only feel. You can't think it. The moment you think it, there's the time discrepancy, and you're out of the now. And this is the one place where we have free will. This is the presence. This is heart space. This is heart space. If you want to be in the here and now, it's a very simple exercise just in order to just catch a breath, because our brain is so all over the place at any given time. We think hundreds of thousands of thoughts a day, and 95% of them are repeated ones. I mean, don't we have anything better to do, we should think. And then we wonder why we don't get off the spot, besides that we choose to sit still. And all things repeat themselves. Then there's all those patterns and belief systems we take along from that time. They're so subconscious that we repeat them since we're even 5, 6 years old, and we wonder why nowadays they trip us up. Well, I wonder why I shouldn't have the same belief patterns and reaction patterns when I was 5 and I'm now 45. I stopped long enough, I just didn't rearrange. So now we're at the end of a 9 year, and again it's like, work is change coming up, and this is change, and I need to look at that, and I need to look at that, and what is wrong with me? And we try to rearrange outside. Outside isn't the problem. Outside is happening anyway, irrespective. Inside is the problem. We outlaid everything we are out there. We gave our power away because we don't want to use the here and the now. The boss has the power. He made me do it. He fired me. He's horrible to me. He makes me have depression. He makes me get heartburn. He is like whatever. It's always he, she, it, whatever. The one thing we don't claim is us right here, right now. Because there's only two, in my opinion, universal truths there. It is I am. Everything else is what the brain adds onto it. I am. The moment I say I am Heike, or there's a definition and I identify myself with labels. I am German. Oh, well, I could be Indian, whatever, who cares? I am is the only truth. Anything that comes after that is either in the past and the future. I am right here, right now. I'm standing here, I'm breathing, I'm talking to people. This is I am. And it is, that's just that. It's not it is Sunday, it is rain, it just is. All the attachments screw us over. And this is when then we stand still and we give away our power. And then we entertain the brain, and then we feed the brain to such an extent that the brain then goes like, oh, I think he or she meant it like this or that, so let me attach to it that she was really mean, and with it, I'm really going to feel bad now, so she made me feel bad. She has no idea what I just thought. But hey, it's her fault. Great, so who had the power where and when and how, and who attached it where? And that person is blissfully unaware. Again, we don't take the power. We're not in the here. We're not in the now. We need to get more out of the brain and into the heart. And where we are right now, we're a 9-year, a Mercury retrograde, and all of that. It is a blessing that we're getting shook up like that everything doesn't apply like that anymore, because it forces us out of our comfort zone. It forces us to question our brain. And I'm not saying we don't need our brain. Oh, yes, we do need it. But is it in the right sequence? We have the soul or the gut, and we have the brain. Brain is thought, obviously. And the gut is a feel. This is like you always say, the gut feel. I mean, when we're in love, we have the butterflies in the tummy. If we are betrayed, somebody kicked us in the gut. It's not a thought, it's a feel. It's a feeling. So it's the same, like we think ourselves into corner, but we feel ourselves out. So it is heart against mind right now. The mind gets you stuck. The heart, the soul gets you out. So right now we are in a situation like that, and you're overthinking completely. I can't just make changes like that because I established it like that, and I knew when I entered that this is the deal I'm getting. Now 20 years later I should still be happy with that. Why? Am I not allowed to grow in 20 years or 5 or 10 years? Am I not allowed to say I don't agree with this anymore? Did I 20 years ago say, okay, I'm going to enter this relationship, work relationship, whatever it might be, and I promise I will never change or grow in any direction. I will be blissfully happy with that. Who did I serve? But we think now we're obligated. That is a brain thing. So we need to bring our power back in order to just literally sometimes tell the brain to shush it. And we need to bring the soul to the top again. And the brain we need very well, but to help us execute where the soul is leading us, and not to constantly argue with us where or what the soul wants. The thing is, we are soul. We are soul in human form in this case. So we're actually taking this whole body thing way too serious. We are meat suit, how John Home would put in one of his talks that he's done. And this is exactly what it is. We glorify the body, and we kind of ignore to a big extent the actual content, what we are. The soul leading us somewhere. Why on earth would the soul shoot itself in the foot? I've never heard of anybody saying, I wish I would have not listened to my gut feel. It's always the other way around. It's the soul leading itself on the journey. And I'm the slow one on it, not my soul. It's me because I'm arguing with my brain and standing still in between. But I'm arguing against that. It's like my soul, if we look at the source of the knowledge, it's like the accumulation of all the lifetimes, the knowledge of all the lifetimes I had, direct line above and beyond. There is no limitation in time and space. Against this little organ in my brain that was born with me in this lifetime, which has quite an eclectic mixture of knowledge in there since I've been born, from family to school to whatever is in there. It's very like, it's in my case 45 years of knowledge against 1,000 years of knowledge. And I still make space in a great, great extent every day to allow the 45-year-old knowledge to argue with 1,000 years of knowledge and still go with the 45 years and wonder why it doesn't work. It's kind of like going with the preschooler over the varsity professor. And a week later, I always get to the same spot going, duh. It cannot work. And most of all, since actually I am the varsity professor, happening to wear this suit at the moment, why am I arguing with a 5-year-old? Not only arguing with them, but actually agreeing. And this is pretty much when we are in times like that, we need to just stand still and say, yes, things are not right now how we would like them to be, because who actually wants that? Is it a 5-year-old, or is it the varsity professor? Is it my brain, or is it my heart? Or my soul? I promise you, your soul can and will not ever mislead you. It does not work like that. It's never been heard of. Show me one person that's ever said that, or will confirm that with you. And I've dealt with people from all walks of life in all different eras of life since I'm born. I've never heard that. It's always the other way around. I knew it, I went against it, and obviously I got the kick in the face. You always know it. Every time we fall for it again. So this is also where kids get it so right. They get it so right. Oh, and animals, but anyway, let's talk people. The kids go by instinct. And then they do things, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and then we come like, why did you do that? And they say, because. And then we say, because is not an answer. Because is the perfect answer. It felt like, it sounded like, it looked right. I mean, outcome might have not been perfect for you, but within that, everything was perfect. They were so in the moment that we could only wish to be in the moment. And then we kind of get it out of them, and then we spend the rest of the lifetime trying to get back to it. So, who's got it wrong? Because it's the perfect excuse, not excuse, explanation. And this is when we start telling them that it's not good enough to be that way. So maybe we should also just get to the point where we say, I'm doing this right now. But if somebody asks you why, because. And it doesn't need more, you don't need to justify. Your birthright is that you follow your soul, and we take this whole life thing way too seriously anyway. We forget to have fun. It's all about obligations, doing it right, competition, what is this one thinking, and nobody is having fun anymore. You're supposed to have fun, because at the same time, you're giving permission to the people around you to do the exact same thing. This is not a punishment system to be on earth. Yes, you're supposed to learn, but even us, when we went to school, we still had some fun along the way. But this has become because it has become a mind game. So wants to have fun. Learning can be fun. So yeah, sometimes going with the 5-year-old preschooler is fun, yeah. But sooner or later you've got to go like with the varsity professor again. Because ultimately you can't be in preschool your whole life. So when you are at those moments where you go like, oh, really? That's okay. And this is where surrender comes in. And surrender again, brain says, surrender is giving up. No, surrender pretty much is just stop digging your heels in. It does not have to be that complicated. But you can choose your angle on it. That's all it is. So, in order not to talk too long again, right now in the middle of all these changes, just maybe established, going with the preschooler, I'm going to go with the varsity professor, and am I digging my heels in? Am I here and am I in the now? Because this is the only moment where I can truly decide how hard or easy or how much fun or how difficult this whole thing is for me. Because at the end of the day, we do have full control over this. Not the brain, our soul. Bring the power back in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heike. Thank you.